Hey guys, I'm going to go through the 4 ways your body expends calories, all right? And this is how you're going to burn that fat off long term, all right? Calorie expenditure, so what is it? It's actually into 4 different parts. Your body has 4 different ways of burning calories. Number 1 is your BMR, all right? So your BMR is your resting metabolic rate or your basal metabolic rate. This is how many calories your body expends literally just doing nothing, just keeping those vital organs, your brain, your heart, your lungs, all these sort of things functioning on a day-to-day. Literally, that's how many calories you're going to burn just lying on your back doing absolutely zilch all day. Now, this accounts for about 70%. For most adults, that's between 1,400 for like a lighter female, up to 3,000 for some of our bigger guys. All right, this is probably the biggest variable of the lot that can be affected hugely by doing things like weights, putting on muscle mass, etc. It can also be affected negatively by not eating enough and going into that catabolic or that really slow down of your metabolism. All right, number 2, non-exercise activity. This accounts for about 20%, can be up to about 500 calories a day. This is like when you stand up, you go for a slow walk, get off at the couch, go to the kitchen, or just, writing down or just literally thinking. That is non-exercise activity. So it's any activity that's not planned. This could even include just, walking around the shops at a really subdued, slow sort of pace. Then number 3, the one that pretty much everyone focuses on, but this video is here to argue that's probably not the most important, is your exercise activity. Yes, it's important to lift weights. I'm never going to deny that. But a lot of people think the more cardio I do, the more fat loss you'll burn. That's simply not true. It can be 0 to literally some of our guys coming in burn 2,000 calories within an hour and a half period. I mean, yes, it's great, but if you put on like 5 kilos of muscle mass over a 12-month period, that's actually going to have a greater effect. That's going to go up 500 calories, a kilo per 100 calories per day, and that's going to have a greater effect than any exercise you're doing on a daily. Not saying exercise is not important. There is a space for cardio, but in terms of fat loss, weights are much more important. And then last of all, your thermic effect of food. So that's about 10%, can be anywhere from 150 to 300 calories. Red meats, animal meats, unprocessed foods are a lot harder for the body to break down than processed foods, wheat grain, carbohydrates, that sort of thing, So eating like a big steak, chicken breast, all this sort of stuff is going to actually take a lot of calories to break down. Difference between a high carb and a high protein diet can be that 150 calories a day can add up to about 10 kilos in deficit per year. So it's a huge thing. Definitely worth considering. Now, obviously, fat loss equals calorie deficit. Calories in must be lower than calories out. We know that. We now know how the body actually uses calories. So that's really important to keep in mind. So it's not just dropping your actual, food intake and upping that. There's a lot more factors you have to take into consideration. A lot of people run into a lot of troubles when your main calorie expenditure actually drops because you're doing too much of this, especially cardio, and you're literally not eating enough. Remember, calorie consistency means you can actually up that quite a lot. You can go from 1,400 as a smaller female up to 1,800, 1,900. Just depends how much you're eating per day and how much muscle mass you actually put on above your body's norm. Note, exercise calories is a small part of it. Calorie consistency is important as well. Guys, my name's Bryden, Back on Track Fitness. I hope this video has been helpful. Please post any questions below.